And once you find a comfortable position for yourself, take your time. Maybe you want to close your eyes whenever you feel comfortable. Jiggle any little restlessness out of your body so you can really arrive onto your seat, eyes closed, and let's take 3 breaths together here just to calibrate. So inhale, allow everything to relax, belly included. Hold it at the top, maybe take a bit more air, and then exhale everything out through your mouth. Keep on exhaling until you feel completely empty. And 2 more times like this. Inhale. Hold at the top. Just feel yourself lengthening and filling up with air, and then exhale, release. And release all the air out. And the last one, inhale. To the east and west, to the top and the back. Hold it at the top. Prepare maybe to make a small sound or maybe big sound. Open your mouth and release. And release everything out. And stay here. You can take your own breath, as in your own tempo. Notice how the breath feels today. And how are you feeling today? Allow everything to just be with you in the room. Observing any thoughts, any emotions that are kind of stuck around. And just welcome them in the room without trying to do anything about it. If you welcome any sensation into your body with the same quality, they usually go away pretty soon. And we don't have to feel associated with any of them. They're just waves that come and go. So your next few cycles of breath, just feel where you are today. Come as you are, come home to yourself. And let's bring more attention into the floor, into the contact you have with the floor. So feet, sit bones, the space between your sit bones. Notice the weight of your body falling down into the ground. And maybe you feel a small difference between your right side and your left side. Which side feels like it has more weight? Maybe one side feels a bit longer. And we take a breath into that awareness, accepting the fact that we are very asymmetrical beings, and there is nothing wrong with this. And today, during the class, we would just try to bring a bit more balance into those asymmetries, because they will always be there, but we can learn how not to be affected by them, how not to allow them to limit us. And we can do this through strengthening our side body. And this part of the body is usually used for stabilizing you through all the movements you do. Because in most of the daily life, you will move forward and back, or mostly forward. And that's why it's so important to move in a sideways direction to complement the big muscles that are driving our movement every day. So you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them with your next exhalation. We're going to take the hands and start massaging the very bottom of the rib cage. If you feel brave enough and if you cut your nails today, you can even go under your rib cage. And you can do it a bit easier on the exhalation. It's really hard for me when I'm talking to do it because my diaphragm is working. But don't be afraid to go a little bit under so you really feel the diaphragm under the rib cage. So that's also our muscle of stabilization and the breath. And let's walk to the edge of that side. Maybe we can feel a bit more of the back rib cage. And that side of the body today, we're going to be focusing a lot on it, strengthening it and opening it. And just giving yourself some touch stimulation already brings us more there. So let's wander back to the center and go to the other side. And again, first try to go under. Like you can see that I'm really trying to put my fingers under. I just cut my nails, so it's kind of possible now. So like a bit of a massage, let's walk a bit to the back. Notice if this side feels a bit more tight. For me, the left side, straight away, I feel almost under my fingers more tension, more knots. So that's usually the left side that it's compensating a bit. Okay. And then bring your hands to your center, slide them under you and up and forward. And then let's lift. Feel like we're lifting exactly from that place that we've been just massaging. So you can feel that your rib cage is coming out of your hips. And then as you exhale, gently close the front ribs. And let's lift the right hand a little bit higher so you can feel that right side is expanding a bit. And think about lifting yourself up, and then you can allow your left hand to come to the floor to support you, but try not to fall into it. So we just keep it there. So we're not getting super, super tired here, but we're still trying to think, lift up. And we'll take 2 breaths in, imagining we can breathe a little bit more. So it's going to look like this. We're going to inhale, and then a bit more, and a bit more, and exhale. Let's go. So inhale, a bit more. Feel the stretch in your lungs, a bit more. And exhale. Allow the exhalation to just come all the way to the end. One more breath in. And a bit more. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Reach away from the hip. And exhale. Bring your hand down. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So allowing the hand to come up. Lift from the ribcage. You can even take your hand and gently hoist your ribcage up. So you really feel that this entire line comes up. And then we do a tiny little side bend. I'm thinking about my fingers coming to the corner of my room. And then maybe I support myself with my hand. And I'm imagining this lung is getting bigger as I inhale. And a bit more. And a bit more. And exhale. This is a brain hug. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale. And a bit more. A bit more. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Imagine we're stretching the lungs. We're getting a bit more air than we even need. And then big, big exhalation. Bring your hands to the center and just roll the shoulders in and out. So what we just did, we told your brain that we have to breathe a little bit more. And this is a really funny way to stimulate your body to open up more for the extension of the chest, for the extension of your hip. This little breath trick actually stimulates the part of your brain that's responsible for those movements. So let's come onto the back. You can get your block. And actually, before we roll down, look at your feet. So we have a nice little position here. Your feet, your knees, and your hips are in the same line. And take your hands and put them on the outside of your knees, gently pressing your hands together. And now, can you create that energy with your knees coming back to the same place, but keep on pushing with your hands? So you feel the outside of your legs are turning on a little bit. And this is that side body that we're going to be talking about. You see, nothing very fancy is happening, but we're feeling that extra layer of muscles helping us out. So let's try to do it in our bridge. We're going to put the block between your thighs. So obviously we cannot open them because we're going to lose the block. But once you're on your floor, you can imagine you're pressing your feet to the outside. So like you're trying to stretch the mat into the left and right. But first you can come to the bridge. Take a moment here, take a breath, settle down your entire spine on the floor. Slide your head away, slide your tailbone away. So we're nice and long in the back. And then push into your feet, feel that energy through the entire foot. Squeeze your block and lift your hips up. Just high enough so we feel opening in the front, but we also have the space in the back. So curl your tailbone under you, really engage the glutes. And you can take your hands to your hips, a little bit lower than normally. So you really feel your butt under your fingers and try to press the knees away without moving them. I hope you feel it. This is a very internal feeling. So if you feel it, you feel the outside of your butt a little bit more active. And then hold it there. So we're squeezing the block. We're pressing the feet out like they're in a big box. And then we're going to do tiny little lifts of your heels. So the toes are going to stay. The heels are going to come up just a few times. So now feel how this side energy is translating into your feet. Keep on breathing. You can always go a bit lower. And I hope you feel that every side of your hip is now engaged and working and stabilizing. So it's a bit more soldiers coming up and helping out to do this movement. Beautiful. Put your heels down and now remove the block. And now we're going to try to open and close the knees, just the knees. So you can take your hands exactly where they were on your hips and see if you can open the knees, close the knees without moving your feet. So still having the pressure on your feet and the big toe, but we're moving to the outside and inside. Now you're definitely going to feel that butt if you haven't awakened it yet. Beautiful. Let's stay here for another 5. This is for the endurance, for the stability, for the protection of your lower back and for the protection of the knees. So finish your last repetition. Come back to the center. Keep your butt up and we're just going to quickly stretch the wrist while we're here. So lift your hands up, hold onto the big tray and pull on your right wrist as you exhale. Try to feel that energy through the hips, through the feet. It's there to give us this control. We don't have to get exhausted from it. We're just distributing the weight throughout the whole hips. One more breath here. Exhale, and then you can switch the wrist. Keep your fingers nice and wide, so really feeling that stretch on your forearm. Still active through the legs. We're almost there. One more breath. And as you exhale, try to go tiptoe, one vertebrae at a time. Oh my God. And then you can bring your knees to your chest, give them a few circles. I hope you feel it. I've been doing this workout, I think 3 times this week, and I really feel it straight away into my glutes. But there's never enough glute workout. So let's keep your knees nice and close to your chest, and you can go and lie down on your left side or right side, depending where you can look to the camera. Yeah, the kittens. I know I'm getting distracted with them too. They're so cute. And then you can put the block under your head like a little pillow. Beautiful. So we have this position of 90 degrees in your hip, 90 degrees on your knee, more or less. And now we're going to work on the upper leg. So take your head and put it on your hip and not only squeeze the hip, but try to push it down to the floor. So you feel that same stability here. And then just lift the knee a little bit closer to your chest. So you feel the front of your body has to work. And then we're going to open the knee as far to the ceiling as possible. Imagine this lengthening line, pulling your knee up, 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 all the way into the sky. You should feel your butt right now squeezing. And then we're going to rotate. The foot is going to go back. And we're going to move the leg into our extension. So here you can imagine you kicking something behind you. I have a wall, so it's really, really easy for me to imagine. Make sure your hip is still in the center. And we're going to come back. We're going to open up to the top. Keep the knee nice and long. As you rotate, the foot comes under. We bring it closer to the chest, and we finish where we started. And let's do it 3 more times. So knee to the chest, open up. Make sure you're still not moving from your pelvis, but we're just moving that leg. And it's okay if the circle is not very big, but we're just trying to be really honest here about which kind of movements we can do just from that hip joint. Beautiful. Notice the rotation is usually the most challenging one. So stay there a bit longer, maybe slow it down. Amazing. So you would feel all these tiny stabilizing muscles on your hip. Let's come back to the center. So your leg are going to come back on top of the leg, and then use your right hand to lift yourself up. And we're going to prop on the elbow now. Good. So we're here, still chilling pretty much. And then we're going to try to do a thoracic rotation here. So we're going to focus on the hand that's on the floor. So push into it and gently pull your shoulder back. Like we're trying to move the hand closer to your knees. And then we're going to open up here. Inhale. Exhale. So it's a little bit different way to rotate because we want to rely on that left shoulder, on that left side of your belly to create this movement. So it doesn't have to be big. You can dive your arm through if you want a bigger twist. You can go a bit through. Keep breathing. So we're not arching the back. We're just moving the whole chest around the spine. Beautiful. And it's the last one. And then you can do a really cute little transition to the dog pose. We're going to be facing away from the camera, but it's okay. Hand comes on the floor, the other one comes up. We're going to roll around, roll around, roll around, and we're up in the dog pose. So take your time getting there. Don't worry if you're facing away. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. But before we go there, can you feel here the difference between the left and the right? Just from that little bit of activation. Feel free to take some shakes. Maybe extra breath. One knee can come closer to the chest while the other foot comes down. Good, and then bend both of your knees so you can feel like you're sitting a bit back. We're moving the hips closer on top of your heels and then swing a bit from the left to right. So it's like we're trying to swing the tail. Tail to the left, tail to the right. Keep on breathing. This is a nice stretch for the side of your body as well. And then we're going to try to land with your knees to the left side so we can sit on the right side of your hip and we come back to the other side. So we start from our hip. It's really nice. You can really get comfortable here. I always feel like I'm lying on the beach here, just on my little pillow. And again, take your hand on your hip, the left hand, and it's quite important that this left hand stays very strict. So I want to make sure my hip doesn't move. I'm going to keep a little bit of power through that arm, and then we can move the left knee to the chest. You can go this first circle a bit slower, so you really feel as we open. This is just one movement, and then the rotation is another movement, and then we bring it back behind you. We have a hip extension, so you can kick your foot a bit behind. And then come back through the opening, rotating, bring it into the chest. Exactly. So this is something that you can repeat anytime you want some love for your hip, and every time would feel a bit different. So always just stay very aware of how your body feels today, how we can support its needs better. Oh my God, those kittens are so cute. Okay, one more. Inhale. See if you can get a little bit bigger with the exhalation. And next time your knee comes to the top, you can release it. Come on up. So when I'm posting myself on my elbow is pretty much in the same line as my hip. Amazing. And let's ground through that right arm. So you can take your hand even on your shoulder and feel like you're just trying to pull it back towards your hip and use the whole forearm to sort of drag it. Like we're trying to scoop the sand towards the hip. You see, this is the feeling. Scooping the sand. And then you should feel that side of your body nice and engaged. Let's go. Inhale. And exhale. Be gentle with this one. It's just our first rotation. Can you feel that side body helping you to rotate? And maybe you want to go a bit deeper through. And take this one with you. I think it's the most relaxing way to rotate your chest, but it's so, so important to keep doing this movement in our daily life so we can actually move our whole chest around the spine. One more breath, inhale and exhale. And you're gonna take this next one to beautifully transition. So you're gonna put your hand, put your other hand, and in the dog pose. So make it a bit smaller, make it bigger, bend your knees so you can really lengthen through the spine. And feel all the side of your body. So not only the big muscles like the hamstrings and arms, but really feeling the side of the body, the side of your knee, the side of your hip, the side of your arms will be our tricep. Beautiful. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, let's walk to the front, actually to the back, and we're just going to rotate because, yeah, this is a really nice flow that works really well when we're not online. So as you're coming up, we're going to do one more thing here before we get up. So same as is the beginning. Can we bend your knees and put your hands outside of your legs? And you will see that I don't want to come all the way out, but I want a little bit pressure out. And this really, really nicely translates to your feet. So you would see that your feet are also a bit more grounded through the outside edge. Good. Keep that feeling. Inhale. And as you exhale, can you feel a bit more supported getting up? So this is actually, if you ever want to do a really heavy squat, it's a really, really nice protection for your knees to just gently press the legs out. So try to explore this when we go through our flow. So we're going to be really trying to energetically press things out. So when I say press out, it doesn't actually mean this. It just means a little bit of this. Okay, let's go. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, allow the arms to come up. Lengthen the side body. So feel the same feeling here, lifting the ribs away from the hips. As you exhale, can you sit back, feeling into your feet where the weight is? We're going to step the right foot back and come into the lunge here. And here we're going to do the same thing. So getting that left hand on the outside of your left knee. Can you gently create some pressure? So it's like my hand is pushing to my knee is pushing to my hand. Hold it there. Try to feel the same feeling without your hand. So then you can inhale, exhale, and lift up. And take a breath here to really absorb it. It just gives our legs a little bit more things to do, which gives us more support. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to place the hands on the floor for the plank, and here we're going to do the pressing out. So you can step the feet back, and then you can drop your knees for that first one, and imagine you're spreading your mat to the left and right with your hands, and then lower down slowly. I'm back. Beautiful. Inhale. Let's make a little cobra. So tailbone towards the feet. And here as well, can you press your hands to the left and right? So more energy into the arms, even if the hold is a bit lower. And then as you come down, push into your hands and feet. Inhale, exhale, lift into your dog pose. Take any adjustment you need. Feel into your fingers. Feel into your whole hand. And can you do that bit of pressing out here? So just giving your arms a bit more energy. giving them something to do, which they normally may be not doing. Good, and feel that strength through your arms and lift your right leg just on the hip height. Inhale, can you move a bit back so we can lengthen. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest. Move your shoulders on top of your hands and step the foot through. We're on the other side. Good, so today we're really focusing on that front leg, but the back one is still doing a bit of scooping under. So take your right hand, put it on the outside of your knee. And find that sensation here. It's not a big movement. It doesn't actually move too much, but just enough so you feel, oh my God, my foot did something different. And now if you lift it, you can still feel that. And then inhale, exhale. We're just giving your body this extra layer of help, extra layer of stability, so we can exceed and reach our full potential in anything we do, because we have extra helpers. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to bring the hands to the front, step the left foot next to the right, so we meet in the front of the mat. And here we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to sit a bit deeper, trying to keep the spine nice and long. Take your hands onto your knees. Take a deep breath. Feel that your legs are so strong. You can just get up in one piece as you exhale. Voilà, guys. Amazing. Let's keep on going with the same thing. We're going to add some elements. So inhale, forward and up. Exhale. Sit back. You can press your feet to the left and right as well. Left foot is going to step back. We're going to start exactly the same. So you're still remembering this is maybe the first time we're doing this kind of thing. So it's nice to put some repetition. Beautiful. And then we're going to reach forward. We're going to bring the hands to the outside, 90 degrees in the elbows, and let's rotate. One time. Feel the leg, still active. So all the tension in your right leg. 2 times, one more time. Exhale. Beautiful. Hold it there. In the twist. Feel your right foot on the floor as you're placing your left hand right next to your foot. So we have that twist. And now we're pushing the right foot to the right, we're pushing the left hand to the left. And just take a moment there to absorb it. Is there anything you feel a little bit different? That's just the goal. Beautiful. And then we're going to sweep that right leg behind. So we're going to straighten it back. We're going to swivel the left foot behind, and we're in the side plank version. So this is just for a moment. And then get that left knee under your hip, left hand under the shoulder, and push the right foot down to the ground. So have a little bit of action there in the right leg. And then we're just going to move that right hand on top of your face, creating this beautiful rainbow stretch. So make sure your arm is slightly in front of you. So when I say to the face, I mean it. You can touch your forehead and then breathe into your right side of your lungs. So inhale, just like we did in the beginning, maybe a bit more. Exhale. And feel this whole line from the outside of your shoulder to the outside of your belly to the hip. And we're going to do a little crunch. We're going to inhale, stay long. As you exhale, we're going to lift the arm, lift the leg. I know we chose the wrong side if you're not pointing the camera, but this got smaller. And now look, this gets bigger. We're back here. And then do it 3 times. So inhale here. Exhale, little crunch. Inhale here. Exhale, little crunch. So it's a side body crunch. Very funny one. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And we're just going to hold that leg up. We're going to step it back, follow with the other leg, and we're in the plank. Amazing, guys. You can drop the knees or keep it there. Press the hand to the left and right so you feel a bit more power coming down. Keep that energy through the hands as you're pulling your elbows to your feet. Keep squeezing the butt to protect the lower back and move your chest forward. Inhale here. Exhale, come down, and through the dog pose, head down. Let's take a little pause here. Extra few breaths to just calm down. It's really hot today, so allow yourself for a bit more slowness, a bit more gentleness. Movement doesn't always have to be really heavy, but we want to keep on moving. So get nice and strong in your arms, maybe push the floor away a bit more, and inhale, lift your left foot up. Come just at the hip height, so you can inhale, reach a bit more back, make the space. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest, move your shoulders on top of your hands, and step the foot through. We're back here again. So repeating the same thing, we're putting the hand on the knee, pushing out. It's going to be really important in a second because we're going to do some balancing. So this is that extra superpower. And then we inhale, reach the forehands up. Exhale, open to the cactus arms. And we're going to go 3 times. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to the center. Take some help from that left foot. Can you feel extra stability just because that left foot is so active? So as we rotate for the 4th time, we can stay here. Good, open the arms and place the hand on the floor. And now move that right hand like you're trying to slide it away from your mat to the right. And the left foot slides away to the left. And let's just take a moment to breathe here. So we're basically making extra space here by pressing ourselves out. And it's an isometric exercise. That means nothing is actually moving, but everything is very engaged. So hold that right arm really strong. We're going to transition to the side plank. You can sweep the left foot back, rotate on your right knee. So that transition itself, it's such a challenge for the shoulder. So let's move the arm on top of you. Really bring it closer to your face rather than behind you, because then we're really opening through the shoulder blade as well. And then push your foot down to the ground, like you're trying to squeeze a raspberry under it. And we breathe. You can allow the neck to just collapse. Right hand is strong. Left arm is opening a bit. Good, a rainbow stretch, I like to call it. Yeah, Emma, bring it a bit more to your face, actually. It's gonna be easier. Yeah, exactly. So I really mean it. Like I usually just wipe my sweat a bit with my biceps here. And then we do a crunch. So inhale, exhale, we're gonna lift the hand to the foot. So it's really the side body, top to your left side. Inhale, this is a trickier one. I already feel a bit more confused here. But let's just practice this. Inhale, open, lengthen. Exhale, come up, get shorter. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And we're going to move the knee to the front this time. Step the left foot, step the right foot, and we're back here. Maybe shake of the legs a few times. Shake of your body a few times. Beautiful. And we're going to get up one more time this way. Actually, you can get up like this every time, but now we're still trying to get this new move into our body. So knees out. You can feel that we are in the box right now. I'm trying to press my entire leg to the left and right to break the box. And then inhale, feel your chest lifting. As you exhale, push into your feet, lift your chest up. Amazing, guys. I don't see your faces, but I hope we're doing good. We're gonna stay here for a moment. Feel free to take some breath, take some water, take some breath. Always take a breath. And we're gonna add a little movement here. So you can bend your knees a bit to feel more stable. Find that feeling of like, okay, I'm bouncing. I'm right in the center. My feet are really grippy in the floor. And then take your hands on your hips and you can go index finger forward, thumb back. And you wanna really, really squeeze them together. Like you're going, scooping your pelvis together. And then shift onto the right, lift the left leg a little bit. So what we want to avoid is this. So less is more here. Think about lifting from that muscle that is right under your fingers. You can bend your knee. I'm bending it quite generously. You'll feel that little muscle under your butt coming in. So bend your knee. It's going to be easier to lift the butt. Try not to lean away. So fight falling to the side. So that foot that stays on the ground has to push for balance. Amazing. So this is our extra little muscle that we also have to turn on. It's hard sometimes to do it, right? And this is really handy. If you ever want to balance on one foot, this muscle is really important. And that's why we prepare it here. So shake it off. We finished that little round. And we're going to put it now in our flow. Beautiful. So come nice and strong. You should feel a bit more activated here. Grab your strength, grab your breath. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, come up. As you're bending over, feel the legs, feel the spine. And this time we're going to step the left foot back, but we're not going to come down. We're going to actually come up for the high lunge here. Good. Take your hands to your hips for a moment, or even do this again. Can we feel that we're pressing both feet out to the outside now? Just a bit. Feel that energy. Now we're going to just try to get up a few times. So we're going to go up and land it back. Get up and land it back. And it's mostly the workout for your right leg. So really get grounded to that right foot. Can you feel that we really want to push to the outside? Imagine you have this hand on your knee all the time. So don't be afraid to lean a little bit to the outside of your foot. Exactly. Good. And this one is a little repetition, one that everyone should be doing as often as possible, because it's really the biomechanics of your hip movement. Loading it, releasing it. So we're going to add one more thing. As we're coming up, can we rotate just from the hip? So just the leg, not the hip. So tick, tick, tick. So we go back and come up, rotate. Back, come up, rotate. It's getting spicy at home, so just play with it for a few times. Even if it feels wobbly, just notice, where can we get a bit more stability? Can we feel the hips a bit more engaged? Can we get that knee to push more to the right side? Good. So now we have a funky move. We're going to lift it up, rotate it. Keep it rotated as you're bringing it back. We're going to go really slowly, and we're going to transition to the side lunge. Yay. Good. And we're here just for a moment. So we know exactly how this feels here. So let's bring this knee forward, and then we're going to rotate it outward so we can step this foot as close to the left knee as possible. Don't worry if it's not super close. And you should already feel nicely to stretch, and we can then reach the arm over the head. Exactly. So it's like we're in the normal lunge, but then we go to the side. Beautiful. And breathe. We'll be here for a moment of opening. You can allow this arm to just dangle. And feel that right foot still a bit awake, because most of the stretch is happening around the hip and in that sticky area of your lower back. And you can always take your hand and give it a little bit of a rub. If you want a bit more love, you can always give him a bit of a touch. Beautiful. Now we take it here. And we're going to rotate back to the front. We bring this knee with us. So we have both knees together, heels apart. We're in this really funky position here. And let's just do cat and cow. Inhale. In your own style, in your own tempo. Just absorbing all of this. Melting all the edges. Connecting to the breath. And feel the arms pushing down, feel the knees squeezing, maybe a bit more action from the tailbone. Good. And then we bring it back to the center. So you can bring your knees back to the center just for a moment so we can lift into the dog pose. And we're gonna walk to the front. So stretch it out if you need it. Take your time walking forward. Here, practice a nice get up from the legs. Inhale. Voila. So it should be feeling better and better because we're really getting into the hip, especially that outside part. So we're going to repeat it on the other side now without the first exercise. So we're just going to go here. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to the floor for a moment. We're going to step the right foot back, not too far. We can bend that right knee to help us get up. There we go. So, might want to take the head and put it on your knee, especially because we're doing the left leg. And for most of us, this is the slightly less intelligent side, not the bad one, just slightly less prepared. So we feel that leg, we feel that foot, this entire line of energy, push into it as you're coming up. So you can make it very small first, before you get nice and comfortable. And then you can add whatever you want. So we can just add a bit more momentum. Exactly. So it's about feeling how biomechanics of it, how everything works together, your foot, your knee, your hip, and the rest of the body, which is so important. Where your head is, where your shoulders are, it's going to affect our balance. Let's add the rotation. So just here, tiny bit of out. It's a very small one, so don't worry if it doesn't feel big. We're just adding one more muscle. Okay. And the last one here, you can keep that knee rotated. So this is the funky little transition. You can play with it. We go back. We find the floor. It's a nice one. Good. So in your plank. Beautiful. Bring that left knee first to the chest as close as possible, then rotate it. So we're pointing the foot down and we're going to place it on the floor and keep that feeling. Your foot and the knee are doing more or less the same thing. And then bring your arm over. So the more energy you're putting through that left leg, the more you will feel opening here alongside really low, like this part at the very bottom of your belly gets really tight. Is my favorite stretches here. So we stay here for a few breaths. Really try to relax into it, even if it takes a bit longer. This one feels really intense for me, but I'm enjoying this a lot. Okay, one more breath for the left side. It needs a bit more love. So inhale and exhale. Bring yourself back to the front. Hand is going to land. The foot is going to rotate. So we were here. Now we rotate in. And one more cat and cow for you here. See if you can move in places that felt inaccessible before. Can we keep pressing the hands to the left and right here to get a bit wider into your back? Beautiful. And let's lift back into the dog pose here for a moment. We repeat our move from the beginning. So get nice and stable, maybe bigger, maybe smaller, bend your knees, and let's just go a few times to the left and right. Just swiveling. And now notice the difference. Does it feel easier? Does it feel more spacious? Maybe just a bit longer. And try to keep your spine nice and long. So I'm just moving to the side. I'm not going down. Side and side. Good. And let's go back to the center. We're going to just go one more twist. So let's bring the right knee to the front. Step it between your hands. And stay here. We're going to do the twist again. So push into your left arm. try to drag the hand back towards your foot, and then we open for the twist here. So that little bit of energy through your hand is really helping you to lift more into your back. So release your head. Left leg is still active. And you can stay here just for one breath, or if you want a little bit of challenge, you can transition to the side plank. So we're gonna rotate, and we're back here. Just the invitation. If today doesn't feel like you wanna do it, it's totally fine. Feel that energy through the hand. Maybe drag it to the left side a bit more. Amazing. Then we have to come back the same way. And then you can bring this left leg behind you, and we take a little moment to wipe off the sweat. Amazing, guys. Take a breath, take a moment here to settle in, settle down. Yes, it's really, really hot. And this is a true core workout, because we are really constantly trying to light up all those areas of your body that are usually just asleep, not because there's something wrong with them, but maybe we just don't need them. But then you see that the injury is happening from overuse, from just doing the same thing over and over again. It's usually because of the big muscles just get tired after some years. And that's where all these stabilizing muscles come really, really handy. So I'm not joking when I say you can be a true ninja when you really access this next layer. You want a little bit more hip stretch, you can walk your hands to the front. The more your knees are closer together, the more you're gonna feel it, but we don't wanna feel any pain in the knee. So you can also just shovel the butt a bit. I like to stick my tailbone out a bit. And it was short and spicy. And now we can just enjoy extra length. Good. One more breath here, and let's come back to the center as you exhale. Let's just add one more little side stretch. So again, notice if there's a difference from the front. I really don't like to use this bottom hand because this happens. And this is when I'm really not stretching. So up, it's always a better idea than down. You always want to feel, can we move more from the rib cage? Because that's the part that also always needs some more movement. And let's switch to the other side. Same thing here. See, my arm is always slightly in the front. Because if I go in the back, I break this line, you see? Good. Now, if you want to play a little bit, we know this move of coming up from these feet. So we go to the front. The first leg steps. I already think the knee. This one is also very much part of the sideline of the body. To be able to do these moves really smooth, we need all this side thing. So one more time, one more side. We're just finishing with some stretches. So inhale, exhale. Maybe can you reach the fingers together here and lengthen a bit more. Ears between the shoulders. Getting some length from the body just by moving all those tissues, you see? So this is a better stretch. Allow your hands to come down and open. As you exhale, can you sit back, pressing your legs out. So one more time, giving the energy to the legs. And I need to think. The right leg is gonna step back. Good, the right hand is on the floor next to your left foot. Push into that hand to open up. And keep lifting your hip up so that the right leg is active, the right arm is active, so the left side can relax. Find all those extra bit of muscles here. So maybe drag your right hand to your foot, maybe try to slide it to the right side of your mat. And then if we want to transition to plank, we need to move this foot a bit away. But still, the right hand is so important. Everything is on this right hand as I'm rotating. So the more your right shoulder is awake and ready, the smoother it's gonna feel. But just play with it. This is invitation, not a must. And then we have to come back the same way. And side plank is actually also a really good exercise for your knee. So notice that pushing up really helps the knee. And we can go back to the thing. There you go. What I usually mostly see it is actually is really sad, but kids, if you ever, not all of the kids, but I taught some kids and they were going like this lunge. So it's like their knees just collapse every time there is some weight in it. And this is really, really not what your knee wants to do. So that's why side of your body, the side butt, gives that knee a bit more stability. Because essentially your knees just should do this. All the side stuff is your foot and your hip. So let's take a moment, respect the knees here. If you need a bit more stretch, you can also bring your feet a bit to the front. So now I'm a bit like this. And then we can walk to the front and enjoy sweaty little stretch. Slow down your breath out bit by bit. The best cool down you can give yourself is just gentle breath. A full exhalation that leaves our lungs fresh. And it is a bit counterintuitive, but we can always try to exhale a bit more. It practices the strength of your diaphragm. It's actually diaphragm stretch when you exhale so much. And it also balances the oxygen and CO2 level in your blood, which you actually want both. So not just oxygen, but we want quite some CO2 in our blood. So the oxygen can travel to our body, around the body, way more efficiently. Take another breath and we're going to come back for the stretch here. So one more time. Do it however you want. You can totally relax and just feel, oh, where I am right now here for the third time, maybe I feel a bit more easy getting there. Maybe we can feel the stretch in different places than before. Inhale fully and exhale fully out. Keep on exhaling, keep on exhaling. And then we switch. So most of us don't know how to exhale, so we can always think, okay, if you think of exhaling, we can go a bit more. So breathe in, very slowly. And if you want a little bit extra breath out, you can imagine you're fogging the mirror at the end. It's a bit like, ha ha. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Bring yourself back to the center. You can roll yourself out. Untuck with the leg, shake them off, and choose your best savasana you want to do. I think we can actually go ahead and straighten the legs, allowing the feet to come to the outside of the mat. So we have this starfish savasana, because we've been taking all the space, we've been stretching to the left and right, and now you can just arrive on the floor in full glory. Close your eyes whenever you're ready. And truly feel the resonance of the movement running through the body, up and down, left and right, back and the front. It's very interesting how many new things we can learn about ourselves by just trying to move outside of our normal patterns. The more variety you provide for the body, the more it lights up, the more quicker it learns. And for me, it always means more joy in the movement, more freedom in the body. It allows you to feel safe in your beautiful container, but it also allows you to be a bit more creative. So whatever sparkles right now, whatever feels very present, just enjoy, observe, be with it. Celebrate yourself for this last 1 minute. Just be.